So over the last week, a story has unfolded that has went super viral because this is all about a tattoo artist that takes full advantage of her clients and scams them out of thousands of dollars. And this story is just absolutely crazy because the more and more we learn, the worse and worse it continues to get. Now, this has all been deemed Tattoo Gate. This whole story starts off with a woman named Courtney who wanted to go ahead and get a fox tattoo on her arm. Now, obviously things didn't go as planned and things didn't work out, so she went ahead and uploaded a 3-part video onto TikTok explaining the whole situation.
Story time, hopefully one part. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can. So I wanted a tattoo by this artist who I love, who's very talented on Instagram. This has nothing to do with her talent as a tattoo artist, just kind of the business practices that I've dealt with. So booked a consult with her a couple months ago. Consult was non-refundable. It was $180. That was listed on our website. That's fine. I paid that. We had a Zoom consult on Friday. I showed her these reference photos as to what I wanted for a half upper arm sleeve. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I said I wasn't really picky on what kind of flowers I wanted. I wanted the fox to look like he was running. Foxes were my favorite animal. I said I wanted some watercolor on the fox. The flowers were just going to be whatever she thought would look good. She then proceeded to tell me, after I had already booked I paid for the consult, she told me that she had these 3 options for her design fee. So she charges a design fee to design her tattoos. So the first option was $1,500 plus tax, and you get a concept sketch, and you can make one minor change and then a final design that you'll review. Option number 2 was $3,500 plus tax, where you got 2 concept sketches and a couple changes and a final design review again. And then option 3 was $6,000 plus tax, where you would get multiple sketches and lots of reviews and lots of changes and like a canvas of your concept. At first I kind of thought that that price was going to then be taking it out of the final cost of my tattoo, but then I find out that it was not. I was still kind of blindsided, didn't really know what to say. She asked which option worked best for me. Obviously I picked number 1 because like it's super expensive. And she had these pictures, so I was confident that she was going to make me a beautiful piece. So Monday rolls around and she sends me this. This is her concept sketch. It is nothing like what I sent her. It's nothing like what I wanted. I emailed her immediately to tell her that I wanted a full fox. I wanted a tail. I wanted the fox to be the main feature. I wanted to be less flowers, more fox forward. And I said, I know I picked option 1, but this isn't what I had asked for with my pictures I sent you. She said that if I wanted another sketch, she was going to charge me the difference between option 1 and option number 2, which is $2,260. She said it was my fault that I wasn't clear that I wanted a full fox. Like, honestly, these are the 2 pictures I sent her, both full fox, both in the same position. I don't know how much clearer I could have been. She didn't ask if I wanted a full fox. I didn't think I had to say I wanted a full fox.
So we have a lot of red flags, and it is clear we have an artist that is taking advantage of a client. But I will say this, and that is I do understand and believe that a tattoo artist's time and their work isn't free, and sometimes that can be charged. But I will also say, in the time with this channel, talking to so many artists and my time of getting tattoos over the last decade, I have never heard of somebody charging a consulting fee, let alone that of the high price of $180. That doesn't even go towards the tattoo. That part is absolutely nuts to me. But let's give this artist the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, she's kind of protecting herself and her time for those people that don't end up going and getting a tattoo with her after that consultation. So this is her protecting herself in a way. I don't understand it. I don't agree with it, especially those high prices, but let's give her the benefit of the doubt on that. But now let's get into this design fee. Now, I made a whole video talking with artists about design, when they usually start creating it for a client and the tattoo, and most of them do it a week before or a couple days, and sometimes even the day of the tattoo, because of many reasons, because they have other things to do, they have other clients to work with. Also, working with a client can sometimes be a little tedious because their ideas are going to constantly change, so it's a lot of work on their end to go back and forth and constantly change the design. And then sometimes they can go ahead and grab that kind of design, go to another artist that does it for cheaper, leaving that artist high and dry. So I do kind of understand and back this idea of paying for a design in advance to kind of get what you want ahead of time. But these prices that she's charging are absolutely nuts, and that is just crazy to me. $1,500 plus tax, $3,500 plus tax, $6,000 plus tax, and in most of these you get very small revisions. This is just nuts to me. And to make this all even worse, the prices of that consultation fee and this design don't even go towards the tattoo. Like, you're paying more for a tattoo design than you are for a tattoo. it doesn't make sense to me. But now the even bigger problem, aside from the prices, is the design. This artist didn't do at all what Courtney had wanted. Like, look at this shit. $1,500 for something that looks like a preschooler made it. My jaw would have dropped if I saw my artist send me this in and after I had paid that much. Like, Courtney sent in 2 very similar reference photos, and you think an artist with these kind of prices would understand the project at hand a little bit more. Now, yes, Courtney didn't say one for one exactly what she wanted, but again, she did have a consult that she paid for, and she's paying $1,500 for design. You think with all that money that you were spending as an artist, you would try to gather as much information as possible. And also, I will include, she had a 45-minute consult that was only 30 minutes. So 15 minutes of wasted time gone that you could have used as an artist to gather more information. And like I said, this story only continues to get worse. Because after Courtney wasn't satisfied with the initial design, and I mean, who would be? She politely emailed back saying this isn't exactly what I had hoped and some changes needed to be made. And this is the point where I believe a lot of people are extremely mad at the whole situation, because instead of this artist working with Courtney, the artist instead was super rude about the whole situation, kind of putting all the blame on Courtney, saying, well, she wasn't giving enough information, she wasn't clear about the design, and if she wanted a new design, she would have to pay for a new package. And then she goes ahead and starts listing out some more prices and packages that she's going to be paying, which are, again, astounding amounts of money on top of what she's already paid. Now, obviously, Courtney was shocked by all this as she's already paid so much. They went back and forth with a couple more emails talking about it all, where eventually it goes on to say that it was all optional and those packages really didn't need to be paid. See, here's the thing. We know the packages that were listed. We have the $1,500 one, the $3,000 one, the $6,000 one. Where did she state in that 4th option that was never stated that you can simply come to the day of the tattoo and then we can design it there and then? That's never stated. You're pretty much giving somebody 3 options to choose from, and that is it. So everything is just very unclear. It's unprofessional, and I can't believe a customer is being treated like this. Especially also, you're blaming the customer, you're gaslighting them like it's their fault that they didn't give you all the information that you need as the artist to go ahead and make the design. You know what you're doing. This artist knows what she's doing, and she's doing a very good job at it to make some extra money. And it's sad because this is just very poor customer service in an industry that is based around the customer, their satisfaction, because without us in our skin, you artists wouldn't have a job. Here's the thing, I don't blame Courtney at all for everything that has happened, just because I understand and know very well too the excitement that comes along with getting a tattoo, especially by an artist that you really want work done by. You will kind of let things slide and you will kind of do whatever you have to kind of get this thing moving forward. But it is clear that she is trying to take advantage of Courtney, somebody who's already started digging their grave because they've already started putting so much money and investing so much into this. And that is actually called the sunk cost fallacy that a lot of us fall into as well. But thankfully, Courtney put her foot down and refused to pay any more than she had already done. And that is where she went ahead after all this, made the 3-part video, and now we have Tattoo Gate. Now, Courtney never went ahead and stated who this artist was or the shop that it was done at, but people are such great investigators online that they ended up finding out all this information. And as much as I don't want to be that person and name drop, I am going to tell you all this information just because I don't want people to be scammed too. And I believe if you do this type of shit, you should be called out for your shit. Now, the artist's name is Lindsay Joseph. She works out of a shop called Lucy in Cambridge, Ontario, which is actually pretty close to me. Now, ever since this all came out, she has been flooded with 1-star reviews online and also now has went private on Instagram. How convenient, right? But I will also say there have been a lot of people caught in the crossfires in all this that share kind of the similar name and all that. So be respectful and, don't bring somebody else's business down because of somebody else. Okay, so maybe this is just a one-time instance. Maybe this artist was having a bad week and Courtney just caught the bad side of it, right? Well, you would be wrong. After Courtney's video went viral, another woman saw this and then came forward as well, sharing her story on how this artist had scammed her too.
I guess it was only a matter of time before somebody else came out with a story about this same artist. So I'm going to share my story about how I was basically scammed out of $4,000 from this same artist. I didn't read the reviews about her, so that's on me, whatever whatever it is. And I don't even know if there were bad reviews at that time, because it was actually 2021 that I booked my consult with her initially, paid my $180, and yeah, we had a consultation that I wanted my shoulder and up into my collarbone here. So I have birds that I wanted covered. We discussed the design, you know, floral and that sort of thing. And she quoted me $1,700 for that tattoo, again, going here and up to here. And she said 50% deposit due, so $850. So I e-transferred her the $850. Anyways, appointment time finally comes and it's December 2022 now, okay? And a few days before the appointment, she calls me to go over the design. And she says, hey, I'm not gonna be able to do the birds. Like, I can't cover it with the design, so we're just gonna do the shoulder. And I was like, well, that's not what we had discussed and what I was quoted. And so I gave some other suggestions about like coming up to my neck and that sort of thing. And she said, if you want to change the design, then you have to pay a whole new consultation. Now keep in mind, this is right after she changed the design. She said, if I don't like the new plan, I can cancel and I would lose my $850 deposit. Yeah, she was quite rude. And so obviously I felt completely obligated to go to this appointment. Wasn't gonna be a huge tattoo, so it should be able to be done in one day and be out of there and never have to deal with her again. That was not to be. So a couple days later, the appointment comes. I show up at 9 a.m. appointment time. And this lovely human doesn't even start until close to 1 p.m. She tattoos me for 2.5 hours, gets the outline done, and then she says that she has to leave to pick up her kids. So I knew I was gonna have to come back for a second appointment. We booked it for in January. And she says that she charges a daily rate and that I owe her $1,900 for today, for 2.5 hours. I was there at 9 a.m. and this was about almost 4 o'clock, or that she's saying she needs the $1,900. And I said, you quoted me $1,700. She says, I didn't quote you anything because it was a phone consultation. So it's my word against hers at this point. She says, I didn't quote you anything. And I said, but you asked for 50% of the cost, which is $850. And that's why I sent you the $850 deposit. She said, nope, that's just my deposits. I charge a daily rate. So if you don't want to have the cops called on you, you need to pay me $1,900 today for 2.5 hours worth of work. So I paid her $1,900 because that $850 deposit, oh yeah, that doesn't go towards the $1,900. That goes towards your last session. So at this point, I paid her $180, $850, and now $1,900 for an outline. 2.5 hours worth of tattooing, actual work. At this point, I have kind of two options. I can cut my losses and stick with this outline 2.5 hour work, maybe get it done by someone else, or I come back, get it finished, and I know that she's gonna ask for that additional $1,000. So I said, okay, well, I'm gonna go back and I'm just gonna tell her I'm not paying her any more money. I'm gonna get it finished and then tell her I'm not giving her any more. $3,000 is more than enough. So that was my plan. I went to the next tattoo appointment in January, and she does about 3.5 hours more work. I'll show you what it looks like so you have an idea. So this is the finished tattoo, okay? I told her I'm not paying any more money. You have $3,000 already. She says if I don't pay, that she's gonna call the cops. I leave, she calls the cops. Of course. Not only that, she takes my driver's license with my personal information and she sends it to every tattoo artist that she knows and tells them that I don't pay and tries to get me blacklisted. All these tattoo artists are sharing on their Instagram stories my driver's license and saying that I skip out on paying and I'm a criminal. As I talk to the cop, or the cop calls me and I explain the whole situation and tell him, no, I did pay her. And so he says, okay, I understand. This is not the first complaint that he's had or first issue he's had with this artist. Multiple people have had issues with her. He says that, you know, as absolutely awful as it is, what she's doing, and immoral, legally, I do have to pay her what the balance is because she can make up whatever prices she wants. Of course, I immediately e-transfer her the balance. So at this point, she's got $4,000 for less than 6 hours of work. I tried to share my story about her on Facebook, my experience, and she threatened to sue me for defamation. I had multiple people, same sort of situation, but it was on Facebook. I had shared my review and people were doing reviews on her shop, bringing the shop down, and it was down to like 1 star as well. She went and had all of those reviews deleted. And she had her shop blocked for a while. Again, she got that all sorted out and then just went on her merry way, scamming more people. I backed down about sharing my story because I was scared. But I am sharing my story now so that hopefully no more people get scammed like I did and like this other person did. And other people as well have reached out to me with similar stories.
As we can see, there is a trend starting to form, and that is this artist is just constantly fucking around in some type of way with not enough information given or just straight up leaving the tattoo appointment early, and then she is charging these poor customers insane amount of money to make up for it. But now let's go back to Courtney's story for a moment, because after it went viral and so many eyes were on this, there was one video that came out that just really made this so much worse than it already was. And that was that $1,500 custom design that Courtney had paid for wasn't even a real custom design. Very little thought went into this, as the artist just went on Etsy and simply outlined design of another design and called it a day. And if that wasn't enough to prove to you how little she cares about her work and her clients and her canvases, here's a couple more videos showing you how much effort she actually puts into all these custom designs.
Tattoo-gate continues, and one of the clients is speaking out. Now, the client who had this tattoo done commented on my last video saying this is literally my tattoo. She sold it to me as an original piece, FML. There's some allegations going around that this tattoo artist has been tracing images and flipping them. For example, this tattoo looks very similar to this sticker when it's flipped. I'm so grateful that Dave sent me this. This is the URL for the design collab. They say, here is the original design image she sent me. She charged me $140 for the design. Now, while I am so thankful we were not charged the $1,500 or the $35 or the $6,000, I don't want to say I'm so happy that you got scammed less, because no one should be getting scammed anyways, especially when it was sold to you as an original piece.
Oh my God, what is that? Oh my God! What is that?
Now, if you thought that maybe she would feel bad about doing all this, well, then you would be wrong again. Because on a post from an artist named Russ Abbott, who is the mentor and the person that kind of teaches this method of charging for designs and all this stuff. Now, he doesn't obviously take it to the extent that she does. You will see that she is found commenting on one of his posts saying how she makes an extra $17,000 a month doing these design collabs. Now, because of this whole situation and because it went so viral, Russ Abbott, the guy that created this whole thing, did catch a lot of backlash and a lot of heat because he is the one that ultimately taught her how to go ahead and do these methods. And because of that, he had to go ahead and release an 8-part series video explaining the whole situation, which to me just felt like he was reading off a teleprompter the whole time. But he did do one nice thing, and that is he said he would reimburse and refund Courtney for all the money that she had lost during this situation. It definitely is a nice gesture just because he isn't the one that initially scammed her, but I also see it as a little bit of a bullshit move. It's just him trying to do damage control, so there is less kind of thing on his end. Nice gesture for sure, but I see what he's doing. Now, ever since this whole situation and story blew up, many people and artists have reached out to Courtney in stitch videos trying to help out with whatever they can in terms of taking her side on the whole situation or by sharing better designs for the fox that she wanted. One person even decided to make it permanent. And this is awesome. Now, thankfully, not all hope is lost, and it shows how great the tattoo community can actually be, because an artist by the name of Matt Vaughn, who is amazing and much better than the other artists, came out and said he is working along with his partners at H2 Ocean to go ahead and fly Courtney out to LA and to give her a free fox tattoo. Now, how great is all that? Now, I will say that we have not yet heard anything from the other artists or the shop, and I doubt we ever will. But let me know what you think about this whole situation and about this artist.
So I just pretty much finished editing this video, and I kind of just sat here for a little bit and pondered on how I could make this video a little bit more better and a little bit more special. I'm not gonna lie, I grabbed a lot of inspiration from what Matt Vaughn did in offering that free tattoo and flying her out to get a new tattoo, and I wanted to do something as well in terms of helping out. You know, this is something that is local to me. You know, I feel a little bit more closer to it. Also, my love for tattoos, the tattoo community, it means so much to me, you know, with the channel and everything. So I decided that I am going to help out by, you know, taking whatever this video makes for the month and then splitting it up and then sending it both ways to both Courtney and Ree to help them out a bit in terms of all the money that they have lost. And because this story is so big right now, there is big potential for this video to do very well, which in terms means that it may do very well in terms of making some money that I can then go ahead and split up and then send both their ways. And I believe it can take a big chunk out of what they have lost from that artist that took all their money from them. So hopefully everybody can help out by just, you know, simply watching the whole video all the way through, liking it, sharing it, and then just spreading awareness as well. And then in a month, come back and I will make a short on this. I will take a screenshot, show you what that video made for the month. And then I will make another video where I tag both, you know, Courtney and Ree in it. And then I share the hopefully really good news with them. So, you know, I hope you guys can help out with this. I would really appreciate it. And, you know, just show a little bit more when people come together, especially in like a certain community like this of the tattoo community. We can do a lot of great things and help out a lot of great people that got into a sticky situation from a not so good person. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, Justin out. Later, guys.